This workout is going to get you the best body possible. It's functionality. It's great heart rate elevation.
The word great holds profound significance, particularly when celebrating the legends of old school bodybuilding. So join us as we carefully unfold the stories of the top 30 iconic figures whose legendary feats have left an indelible mark on the sport. Number 30, Bill Grant. In a world where strength is born not just from muscle, but from unbreakable will, Bill Grant has made a name for himself. Commonly known as Man of Steel, his journey from bullied youngster to a bodybuilding champion is nothing short of inspirational. As a 9-year-old who picked up his first set of weights, every place seemed perfect for a workout session. He was training anywhere he could, from the bedroom to a friend's backyard. The fire within him started because of being bullied due to his small frame and weak muscles. He even said, "I was always picked on, beaten by everybody, even by the girls." So he chose to fight back, not with anger, but with relentless determination. As you may have guessed by now, his transformation was astounding. He went on to gain a massive 45 pounds to his skinny frame within the space of 4 years. Then he took part in a competition called Mr. High School New Jersey, where he positioned a respectable 5th place. This was his first taste of competitive life and being on stage. His passion only grew stronger, and the rest is history. Grant's ascension in professional bodybuilding began with a modest 6th at Mr. USA and 17th at Mr. America in 1968, sparking a fierce determination to excel because merely competing wasn't enough for him. This resolve fueled his journey to the pinnacle, clinching first place in Mr. World in 1972 and Mr. International in 1974. Over 2 decades, with 44 competitions worldwide, Bill's consistent top finishes cemented his legacy as a true champion in the sport. Number 29. Chuck Sipes. Chuck Sipes was a one-of-a-kind old-school bodybuilder out there. Now, we know we've tossed around phrases like one-of-a-kind more times than we can count when talking about classic bodybuilders. But trust us, Chuck Sipes breaks the mold in every way imaginable. Let's start with the fact that sets him apart from the crowd. He was a natural, through and through. In an era inching towards the lure of steroids, Sipes stood firm. It's said he walked away from competitive bodybuilding as steroid use became common. And despite not using steroids, his feats of strength were legendary. Ranking as the 2nd strongest bench presser in the world, he was only outmatched by Pat Casey, who had a hefty weight advantage over him. Sipes' bench press technique, marked by a closed grip, a flat back position, and a disciplined 2-second pause at the chest, allowed him to astonishingly lift 570 pounds. Sipes' training ground was as unique as his ethos. His home gym, a testament to his lumberjack roots and rugged individualism, featured homemade equipment and heavy machinery from scrap yards. This environment wasn't just for personal gain. It was a classroom for the young men he mentored. Serving over 2 decades with the California Youth Authority, Sipes used his passion for the outdoors to lead rehabilitation expeditions into the state's wilderness, offering a path to transformation through physical challenge and communion with nature. A champion in every sense, Chuck Sipes' legacy transcends his titles of 1959 IFBB Mr. America and 1960 IFBB Mr. Universe. Remembered not just for his physical prowess, but for his generosity and the profound impact he had on those he took under his wing, Sipes remains an icon in the world of bodybuilding. Number 28. Armand Tanny. This old-school bodybuilder's name resonates with the raw essence of old-school bodybuilding. By raw, we mean raw. He was into the daring and unconventional practice of consuming everything uncooked like meats, tuna, lobster, liver, veggies, and more. So did Tanny wake up one day and decide to eat raw food for bodybuilding? Not exactly. In the late 1940s, Armand Tanny's wrestling tour across America led him to Hawaii, where encounters with robust Polynesian wrestlers introduced him to the power of a raw food diet. Intrigued by their strength and health, Tanny went on a journey that led him enrolling into a medical school for research. There he found the research work of Weston Price on traditional diets. Embracing raw nutrition, Tanny ate fresh seafood from Santa Monica Pier, alongside uncooked meats, nuts, fruit, and veggies. Advised by nutritionist Gaylord Hauser, he supplemented his diet with bodybuilding nutrients. This radical shift sculpted his physique immensely and helped him clinch the 1949 Pro Mr. America and the 1950 Mr. USA titles. Number 27. George Eiferman. It's the 1940s and 1950s, a time when muscles were as much about might as they were about right. That's when George Eiferman didn't just enter the scene, he stormed it with the force of a hurricane. armed with a physique that seemed chiseled from stone and a strength that could rival Hercules himself. Eiferman was a bodybuilder who didn't just perform, he owned the stage with a charisma that could light up a room. He won the Mr. America title in 1948 with the kind of flair that left spectators spellbound. Fast forward to 1962, and he's at it again, this time conquering the Mr. Universe competition, proving that his blend of muscularity and magnetism was no fluke. And did you know who inspired the swinging, vine-hopping character George of the Jungle? You have Eiferman to thank for that.
Guess that cleans up everything, Dave.
However, Eiferman's legacy isn't just in pop culture, it's in pioneering fitness for all, inspiring generations to value exercise and nutrition through his nationwide educational endeavors. Number 26, Mike Katz. Mike Katz's journey from a strict Jewish upbringing in New Haven, Connecticut, to a celebrated figure in the golden era of bodybuilding is a tale of determination and passion. Born on November 14, 1944, Katz's childhood was framed by rigorous religious discipline, limiting his freedoms but unknowingly fueling his drive. With energy to spare and nowhere to channel it, Katz turned to push-ups, laying the foundation for a physique that would later command the bodybuilding world's attention. Despite facing restrictions at home, Katz's persistence saw him rise through the ranks, earning top spots in the world's most prestigious bodybuilding competitions. Among Katz's most notable achievements were winning the prestigious 1970 Mr. America title, the 1972 IFBB Mr. World title, and earning numerous top 10 finishes in the Mr. Olympia competition. Though the title of absolute champion eluded him, Katz's legacy was immortalized in Pumping Iron, the iconic film that peeked behind the curtain of the 1975 Mr. Olympia and Mr. Universe contests. Katz's story, marked by relentless effort and a love for strength exercises, showcases how even the most humble beginnings can lead to legendary status in the history of bodybuilding. Number 25, Sergey Nubret. Now let's have a quick glance into the legendary world of Sergey Nubret, a figure whose might and muscle turned him into the iconic Black Panther of bodybuilding. His physique, resembling a highly polished statue, left audiences in awe and competitors in the shadows. Born in 1938 and inspired by Steve Reeves, Nubret's journey to greatness began when he was declared world's most muscular man in 1960. Despite a focus on film roles that led to a subdued competitive streak in the 1960s, Nubret made a triumphant return to bodybuilding, securing a vice presidential role with the IFBB and claiming multiple titles, including the prestigious Mr. Universe in 1976. Nubret's career faced turmoil in 1975 amidst false allegations of starring in a pornographic film, but his resilience and unmatched condition nearly dethroned Arnold Schwarzenegger at the Mr. Olympia. Nubret's legacy isn't just in the titles he won, including the prestigious Mr. Universe in 1976, but in his profound philosophy on bodybuilding as a union of mind, body, and spirit.
Most of my technique comes from 40 years of training, so if you want to try something new, just follow it.
His extraordinary training regimen and diet set him apart, making him not just a bodybuilder, but a visionary who redefined the sport. Today we celebrate Sergey Nubret, the real Black Panther, whose legacy continues to inspire and awe young bodybuilders around the world. Number 24, John Grimek. Considering a pioneering American bodybuilder and weightlifter, John Grimek was a gifted bodybuilder who left an indelible mark on the world of fitness during the 1930s and 1940s. Renowned for his remarkable muscular development, strength, and outstanding proportions, he was given the worthy nickname the Monarch of Muscledom. Born in New Jersey in 1910, who knew Grimek would go on to represent the United States at the 1936 Olympics in weightlifting before becoming a two-time Mr. America winner in 1940 and 1941. So impressed were the Mr. America judges with Grimek's physique that they changed the competition's rules to prevent winners from re-entering the contest. Grimek was considered a true pioneer in the early 20th century for mixing aesthetics and performance, a legend who has truly inspired a generation of bodybuilders. Aside from being a prestigious competitor, Grimek helped to challenge the stereotype of the muscle-bound lifter. Interestingly, there was a time when the medical community believed in the myth that weight training makes a person inflexible, slow, and uncoordinated. And this is where Grimek's physique, character, and feats of fitness helped drive medicine's acceptance of resistance training. Number 23, Samir Bannout. Let's talk about Samir Bannout, the Lion of Lebanon, and how he roared onto the bodybuilding scene. Samir was the one who stormed the Mr. Olympia stage in 1983 to win the contest with his perfect blend of symmetry and muscle.
We now call the Lion of Lebanon forward to represent the USA, Samir Bannout.
With a height of 5 feet 7 inches, his 200-pound physique was nothing less than a masterpiece in motion. Bannout is regarded by many as having the greatest back in bodybuilding history. The extreme muscular definition that he achieved in his lower back region portrayed the shape of a Lebanese cedar or Christmas tree when posing on the stage. Samir Bannout had a curious career. In 49 pro contests over 16 years, he won only 2. However, he has been an influential figure in the sport through his educational efforts, sharing his knowledge and passion for bodybuilding with countless athletes and enthusiasts. Number 22. Boyer Coe. Boyer Coe's name carries a special kind of weight in the bodybuilding community, not just for the muscle he packed on his frame, but for the legacy he's built over decades. This American powerhouse took the 60s, 70s, and 80s by storm, claiming titles that many only dream of: 1969 Mr. America, 1969 Mr. Universe, and the 1981 Professional Mr. Universe, to name a few. But Coe's impact goes beyond just collecting hardware. He's been a guiding light in the sport, sharing the wisdom he's gathered from years of training, competing, and living the bodybuilding lifestyle. His contributions have shaped not just muscles, but minds, influencing countless athletes and fans who hang on his every word for tips on sculpting their bodies and their lives after his example. Number 21. Sergio Oliva. Step into the world of bodybuilding and you'll find legends aplenty, but none quite like Sergio Oliva, the myth. This former Olympia champion was a bodybuilding phenomenon who boasted out-of-this-world mass, aesthetics, and V-taper. If you're thinking we're exaggerating, consider the fact that he is the only man to beat Arnold Schwarzenegger on the Olympia stage. Olivia's genetic gifts were nothing short of extraordinary, making him a standout even among legends. With biceps stretching to 22 inches and thighs at 30 inches, all while maintaining a slender 28-inch waist, his physique was a marvel of symmetry and power. His iconic victory pose, arms thrust skyward, was a testament to his dominance, a gesture that made others pale in comparison. A Cuban refugee turned American icon, Olivia's journey from Mr. Illinois to 3-time Mr. Olympia is a tale of resilience, determination, and sheer talent.
A former Mr. World, a former Mr. Universe, a 3-time Mr. Olympia, he's known as the myth, Sergio!
Olivia's legacy endures, immortalized as perhaps the greatest bodybuilder of all time. Number 20. Larry Scott. Witnessing someone shatter expectations and rise to greatness is nothing short of exhilarating. Larry Scott, a name synonymous with the golden era of bodybuilding, stands as a testament to this. Once underestimated for his narrow shoulders, Scott's journey from doubt to dominance is a tale suitable for a Hollywood movie. Imagine the loss to the world of bodybuilding had he listened to those early skeptics. Thankfully, he chose to persevere. Starting his transformative journey at 16, Scott quickly silenced doubters by winning Mr. Idaho in 1959 at just 20 years old. His ambition didn't stop there. Moving to California in 1960, under the guidance of Vince Gironda, Scott's physique flourished, earning him titles such as Mr. California, Mr. Pacific Coast, and Mr. America. 1965 marked a pivotal year as the bodybuilding landscape braced for the inaugural Mr. Olympia contest, seeking to crown the ultimate champion. Amidst a lineup of the world's elite, Larry Scott's dedication was about to make history. Winning the first ever Mr. Olympia, he set a standard for excellence, successfully defending his title in 1966 and retiring undefeated in the competition. More than just a champion, Scott became the era's most photographed bodybuilder, giving rise to the iconic Larry Scott style. His legacy, characterized by an unbeaten Mr. Olympia record and widespread acclaim, continues to inspire a legacy of determination and excellence in the face of skepticism. Number 19. Jim Haislop. Jim Haislop, often celebrated as the epitome of aesthetic bodybuilding in the 1960s, brought a refreshing perspective to the fitness world with his focus on symmetry. His training regimen, unique for its time, emphasized not just muscle growth, but the art of achieving a balanced classical physique. This approach set Haislop apart, earning him the accolade of being one of the prettiest bodybuilders to grace the stage. His journey in competitive bodybuilding was marked by significant triumphs, including clinching the 1968 Mr. America title and the 1967 Mr. USA title. Many consider him an underrated bodybuilder. It's hard to argue since he has competed against the best of his era and consistently found himself at the top, showcasing his remarkable proportion and muscularity on national and international stages. His legacy, rooted in the pursuit of symmetry, remains a standout in the sport's history, illustrating the timeless appeal of a well-sculpted, harmonious physique. Number 18. Franco Columbu. Franco Columbu, standing tall at 5 feet 5 inches, might have been the shortest Mr. Olympia, but his stature never defined his legacy. Instead, it highlighted his immense impact on the sport, especially in the under 200-pound category, setting the stage for future athletes of smaller builds. From the rustic terrains of Sardinia, Italy, Columbu's story is a testament to sheer will and determination. Raised by shepherd parents, he transitioned from boxing in his teens to dominating the worlds of powerlifting and bodybuilding, earning him the nickname the Sardinian Strongman. Among Columbu's most notable achievements were winning the prestigious Mr. Olympia title twice, in 1976 and 1981. He also claimed victories in other major competitions, such as Mr. Universe, Mr. World, and Mr. Europe. In addition to his competitive accomplishments, Franco Columbu was a successful actor, appearing in several films and television shows, often alongside his close friend and training partner Arnold Schwarzenegger. Number 17. Robby Robinson. Robby Robinson, the Black Prince of bodybuilding, has a story that's nothing short of movie-worthy. Growing up in tough times where dreams often got lost in the shuffle, Robby was facing demons in the form of poverty and racism. Facing down the kind of challenges that might have stopped others cold, he found his escape and his passion in the weight room. Inspired by comic book heroes and bodybuilding legends like Bill Pearl, Robby started turning heads while still in high school, sculpting a physique that whispered of greatness to come. 1974 was a game-changer for Robby. Winning Mr. Florida wasn't just a win, it was his ticket to the big leagues. Joe Weider, a giant in the bodybuilding world, saw something special in Robby and invited him to California. That's where the magic happened. Venice Beach's Gold Gym became his arena, and alongside icons like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Robby helped define an era that would be remembered as the golden age of bodybuilding. Robby's trophy case got pretty crowded, with titles like Mr. America, Mr. World, and Mr. Universe. Sure, Mr. Olympia might have slipped through his fingers, but Robby was always a standout, earning the kind of respect that titles can't always measure. Number 16. Dave Draper. Dave Draper, the blonde bomber, was a true icon of the bodybuilding world. With classic good looks, towering at 6 feet tall, and a physique at 235 pounds of pure muscle, it won't be wrong to say that he was one of the few that propelled the sport into the spotlight. Back in 1962, Draper burst onto the scene with the Mr. New Jersey title, marking the start of a legendary journey. Heading to Southern California, he found his second home among the legends of Muscle Beach and Gold's Gym in Venice, embracing lifting not just as a sport but as a way of life. Draper, known for his laid-back style and preference for jeans over traditional gym wear, became an inspiration long before the likes of Arnold Schwarzenegger entered the scene. Winning titles like Mr. America, Mr. Universe, and Mr. World, he set a standard that many aspired to, including Schwarzenegger, who looked up to Draper as a motivation. Beyond his physical achievements, Draper was open about the pitfalls of steroid use, offering advice based on his own experiences. His legacy, rich with insights into bodybuilding, lives on through his writings, offering a guide to the discipline of iron and steel for future generations. Number 15. Tom Platz. Tom Platz, known in the bodybuilding world as the Golden Eagle, was a sight to behold. With his legendary leg development, Platz redefined the standards for lower body aesthetics and power in the sport. Standing at a modest 5 feet 8 inches, his physique was anything but average, featuring some of the most iconic quads ever seen on the bodybuilding stage. His training intensity was legendary, pushing the limits of endurance and pain to craft his signature look. Platz's competitive career was marked by memorable moments, including a standout performance at the 1981 Mr. Olympia, where his incredible leg size and definition stole the show. Although he never clinched the Mr. Olympia title, his influence extended far beyond trophies. His dedication to the sport and groundbreaking leg workouts inspired a generation of bodybuilders to focus more on symmetry and balance. Beyond competitions, Platz contributed to the bodybuilding community as an educator, sharing his knowledge on training methods and nutrition. His seminars and instructional videos have educated countless athletes, making him a respected figure in the industry. Number 14. Mike Mentzer. Mike Mentzer, a name synonymous with revolutionizing bodybuilding, brought a cerebral approach to a sport driven by brute force. Known for his heavy-duty training philosophy, Mentzer challenged the prevailing norms, advocating for high-intensity, low-volume workouts that promise greater gains in less time. At a solid 5 feet 8 inches and weighing around 225 pounds in competition shape, his physique was a testament to his methods, showcasing a level of definition and mass that was ahead of his time. Among Mentzer's most notable achievements were winning the prestigious 1976 Mr. America title, the 1978 Mr. Universe with a perfect score, and achieving a top 2 finish in the 1979 Mr. Olympia competition. Mentzer's influence extended beyond the stage through his writings and personal training, where he espoused his training principles, blending philosophy with bodybuilding. Mentzer's critical thinking and questioning of bodybuilding dogmas made him a controversial figure, but also one deeply respected for his insights and dedication to intellectual rigor. His legacy lives on, not just in the physiques he helped shape, but in the minds he opened to the possibilities of smarter, more efficient training methods. Number 13. Casey Viator. Casey Viator, often hailed as the Giant Killer, carved a unique niche in bodybuilding history with his incredible power and physique, despite often being the smaller competitor on stage. Born in 1951, Viator's journey to prominence was marked by his remarkable victory at the 1971 AAU Mr. America, where, at just 19 years old, he became the youngest winner ever, a record that still stands. His densely muscled frame, especially noted for its superior definition and mass, made him a formidable force, challenging and often defeating larger opponents. Viator's training under the guidance of Arthur Jones, the founder of Nautilus Equipment, further honed his physique through high-intensity workouts, embodying Jones's principles and showcasing the potential of machine-based training. This collaboration also placed Viator at the heart of the Colorado experiment, a groundbreaking study on rapid muscle growth, where he astonishingly gained over 60 pounds of muscle in 28 days, a feat that has become a part of bodybuilding lore. Beyond competitions, Viator's legacy is intertwined with his contributions to training methodology and his role in demonstrating the efficiency of high-intensity training. His impact on the sports remains profound, remembered for his ability to defy odds and scale new heights, truly living up to his moniker, the Giant Killer. Number 12. Leroy Colbert. Leroy Colbert wasn't just any bodybuilder. He was a pioneer with bicep-breaking records and setting standards. Born in 1933, Colbert was the first to flaunt 21-inch biceps naturally, turning heads and rewriting the rules of muscle building. Unlike his peers obsessed with lifting heavy, Colbert championed volume training through a groundbreaking number of sets and reps. While the norm was 3 to 4 sets, Colbert pushed 6 to 10 sets, with reps soaring from 10 to 20. His focus, not just strength, but muscle sculpting, engaging every fiber with precision and control. This approach didn't just give him legendary biceps, but ensured his physique was balanced and symmetrical. Beyond his physique, Colbert was a barrier breaker, one of the first African-American icons in a segregated bodybuilding world, proving excellence knows no bounds. Even after a severe motorcycle accident, his comeback defied doctors' expectations, embodying resilience and determination. Colbert's legacy extends beyond the gym. He was a vocal advocate for natural bodybuilding, warning against steroids when few dared to speak up. His advocacy for full-body workouts over split routines underlies his belief in a holistic approach to fitness, marking him as a true visionary in the sport. Number 11. Chris Dickerson. Chris Dickerson will be remembered as the man who broke bodybuilding barriers. He was the first black man to win the Mr. America contest. There's more than this accomplishment. The groundbreaking American bodybuilder, with his mind-blowing muscularity, symmetry, and classic physique, made a significant impact on the bodybuilding world during the 1970s and 1980s. While competing, he stuck to the basics, an impressively sculptured physique, and a quiet respect for the sport, his colleagues said. He was known for his grace and posing, informed by ballet lessons he had taken as a young man. Among Dickerson's most notable achievements were winning the prestigious 1970 AAU Mr. America title and the 1973 IFBB Mr. America title. At the 1980 Mr. Olympia competition, Dickerson came second to Arnold Schwarzenegger. However, he won the 1982 Mr. Olympia title at the age of 43, making him the oldest competitor to win the title at that time. Popularly nicknamed Diamond Calves, his impact on the sport remains profound, remembered for his ability to defy odds and scale new heights. Number 10. Frank Zane. Frank Zane, often dubbed the chemist of the bodybuilding world, not for concocting potions, but for masterfully crafting his physique through a blend of science and art. Winning Mr. Olympia 3 times, Zane's story is a masterclass in precision and dedication. Unlike the giants of his era, he didn't rely on sheer bulk. Instead, his approach was about achieving perfect symmetry and proportion, proving that in the world of muscle, quality often trumps quantity. Zane's journey into bodybuilding was as much about mental discipline as it was physical. With a degree in education and a passion for teaching, he applied classroom principles to the gym, meticulously noting every detail of his training and diet. This analytical approach, combined with his relentless pursuit of perfection, set him apart. His victories were in the late 70s, at a time when bodybuilding was reaching new heights. Weren't just personal triumphs, they were a statement to the world. Frank Zane's legacy is a testament to the idea that with the right mix of intelligence, hard work, and strategic planning, greatness is within reach. Number 9. Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno's journey from being bullied as Deaf Louie to embodying the Incredible Hulk is a story of transformation that sounds almost too epic to be true. Picture this: a young Lou, facing adversity head-on, finds solace in the world of comic book heroes, dreaming of one day becoming as powerful as the characters he admired. And guess what? Dreams have a way of becoming reality. Lou's rise in the bodybuilding world was meteoric, clinching the IFBB Mr. America title in 1973 and dominating as Mr. Universe in 1973 and 1974. Lou's presence was undeniable, towering at 6 feet 5 inches and weighing in at a solid 270 to 280 pounds during his peak. He was a force of nature. And that became evident when the world witnessed his legendary showdown with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 70s, a rivalry that became the heartbeat of pumping iron. 1977 marked Lou's leap from the bodybuilding stage to becoming the iconic Hulk, no CGI needed. His portrayal in the Incredible Hulk TV series not only showcased his incredible physique, but also cemented his status as a cultural icon. Lou's legacy is a powerful reminder to dream big, lift bigger, and never let adversity keep you from becoming your own version of a superhero. Number 8. Alan Stephan. Whenever there's discussions about the classiest bodybuilders ever, Alan Stephan's name always comes up. Crowned Mr. America not once but twice, his journey is a testament to the power of pure effort and discipline. Some would say it was written in the stars since his foundation was laid pretty early. You see, his father had a robust build from rigorous farm and steel mill work, which provided Alan with the genetic blueprint for his own muscular development. Alan's early years were marked by an impressive commitment to physical conditioning. Despite a lack of natural strength, initially by age 15, he was undertaking a grueling regimen of 100 chin-ups and 100 dips daily. His high school years saw him excel in wrestling and weight training, though his heart was set on bodybuilding. Surprisingly, he also shone in competitive weightlifting, achieving significant success even as a teenager, demonstrating his exceptional physical capabilities. The pinnacle of Stephan's career came in 1946 when, fresh from a naval service, he took on the daunting challenge of preparing for the Mr. America contest with just 6 weeks of training. Against all odds, he won. Alan Stephan's legacy, built on the bedrock of hard work and integrity, stands as a compelling narrative against the backdrop of today's shortcut culture, reminding us of the timeless value of dedication and hard work. Number 7. Jusup Wilkosz. Jusup Wilkosz, known as the German Zeus, was a towering figure in the world of professional bodybuilding during the late 20th century. Imagine standing before Zeus himself, muscles rippling like the thunderous sky. That was the aura Wilkosz brought to the stage. His ascent in the sport was marked by his incredible work ethic and a disciplined approach to training and nutrition, which set new standards in bodybuilding. But what really set Wilkosz apart? Was it just his incredible size, his unmatched muscularity, or that iconic V-taper that made even the Greek gods envious? Let's dive deeper. Wilkosz wasn't born a demigod. His ascent to Olympus came from relentless dedication and a burning desire to redefine the possible. His victory at the Mr. Universe contest in 1979 was bound to happen. The following year, he achieved another milestone by earning his IFBB Pro card, solidifying his status among the elite in bodybuilding. Throughout the 1980s, Wilkosz remained a consistent figure at the Mr. Olympia competition, battling against some of the biggest names in the sport. His ability to consistently place in the top ranks at such a prestigious event underscored his exceptional talent and commitment to excellence. Beyond his competitive achievements, Wilkosz's impact on bodybuilding extends to his influence on training methodologies and nutrition, inspiring a generation of athletes to pursue their bodybuilding dreams with the same intensity and passion. Number 6. Clarence Ross. Back in the Silver era, Clarence Ross was the face on every muscle mag, a beacon of bodybuilding greatness through the 40s, 50s, and 60s. But Ross's path to icon status was strewn with challenges. Losing his mom young and shuffled between foster homes, Ross faced his share of tough times. Bullied for his skinny frame, he made a vow to get strong, and weightlifting is where he found his true calling. By 17, Ross was already turning heads, but he aimed higher, passing on muscle with the York barbell system. His early struggles weren't setbacks, they were the sparks that ignited his rise, pushing him to outmuscle even the legendary Steve Reeves. When duty called during Pearl Harbor, Ross served with the United States Air Force, becoming a symbol of strength. More than just muscle, Ross was a pioneer, known for his groundbreaking thick chest and a balanced physique that set the bar high for future generations. With a philosophy that strength builds muscle, he won titles like the AAU Mr. America in 1945 and Mr. USA in 1948. His legacy is more than his victories. It's a story of resilience, inspiring bodybuilders worldwide to chase strength, inside and out. Clarence Ross, a legend whose spirit lifts us all in the gym and beyond. Number 5. Steve Reeves.
During my time, I believe that bodybuilding was a health-oriented sport, where now it's unhealthy, chemical-induced gains and all that.
If you ever make a list of the most aesthetic male physiques of all time, Steve Reeves would be an automatic inclusion in it. The 1950 Mr. Universe and Cinematic Hercules is still the archetype of a classic physique. He seemed like something conjured up in an artist workshop. While Reeves had a mentor in the form of Ed Yarrick during his high school years, he had to be drafted into the U.S. Army during World War II. He returned in 1946 to focus on bodybuilding full-time. Within no time, he was dominating the bodybuilding industry. By the time he turned 21, he had already won the Mr. Pacific Coast title twice and Mr. America once.
Mr. Universe.
And despite setbacks at Mr. USA and Mr. Universe, his resilience led him to win Mr. World in France and Mr. Universe in 1950, crowning his bodybuilding achievements. Opting out of a career in bodybuilding, Reeves turned his physique towards film and television. In 1958, Reeves starred as the Greek god Hercules, a role that cemented him as an iconic figure in the American film industry. Number 4. Reg Park. Roy Reg Park, also known as Reg the Legend, is a United Kingdom-born professional bodybuilder, 3-time winner of Mr. Universe, and actor. Cited by Arnold as one of his earliest influences, Park had one of the most impressive physiques of his time. And noted for his strength, the English-born icon is said to have been the first bodybuilder to bench 500 pounds. Among Park's most notable achievements were winning the prestigious Mr. Universe title 3 times, in 1951, 1958, and 1965. His success in bodybuilding laid the foundation for his acting career, where he starred in several Sword and Sandow films, most notably as Hercules in the early 1960s. Reg Park also made a significant impact on the sport by mentoring a young Arnold Schwarzenegger, inspiring him to pursue bodybuilding and eventually become one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time. Reg embodied the eat big to get big mentality, gave his workouts 110%, and as a result developed one of the most aesthetic and balanced bodybuilding physiques in the golden era. Number 3. Bill Pearl. People like Bill Pearl, who earned the title of World's Best Built Man of the Century, are rare gems in the world of bodybuilding. He was a legend who left an indelible mark across the silver and golden eras of bodybuilding, clinching the Mr. Universe title 4 times. Imagine a young Pearl growing up during the harsh times of the Great Depression, finding hope and inspiration in the muscular forms of bodybuilding icons like Clarence Ross and Steve Reeves. It sparked a dream in Pearl, one that would see him rise from obscurity to become a legend himself. This dream, however, was far from easy to achieve. With iron scarce during World War II, Pearl and his friends waited 2 years for a barbell set, improvising with gallon cans to keep their aspirations alive. His journey took a decisive turn when, stationed in San Diego with the Navy, Pearl stumbled upon Leo Stern's gym, a place where champions were made. Under Stern's guidance and inspired by the legends he once admired in magazines, Pearl began his competitive journey, sweeping titles from Mr. California to Mr. Universe. Pearl's legacy went beyond his victories, inspiring future generations, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, who once placed Pearl's photo above his bed as a source of motivation. Pearl's story is a testament to the power of dreams, determination, and the impact one man can have on the world of bodybuilding. Number 2. Eugen Sandow. Born on April 2, 1867, Eugen Sandow was a German bodybuilder widely regarded as the father of modern bodybuilding. You could say he was the world's first global physique superstar. He toured worldwide, helping to popularize early forms of weight training among the masses. As a weightlifter and athlete, Sandow was able to lift 269 pounds in the bench press, do a back somersault holding a 56-pound dumbbell in each hand, and was able to perform any manner of pull-up, including one just with his thumbs. Among his notable achievements were the organization of the first major bodybuilding contest, the Great Competition in 1901, and the publication of numerous books, including Strength and How to Obtain It. Perhaps his biggest achievement is laying the foundation for the fitness movement with his incredible physique and innovative training methods. As the father of modern bodybuilding, Sandow's influence can still be felt today, as athletes and fitness enthusiasts strive to achieve the perfect balance of strength, proportion, and grace that he so masterfully embodied. By the way, the winner of the Mr. Olympia competition is awarded the Sandow Trophy, modeled on Eugen himself. Number 1. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnie stands as a legendary figure, not merely for his physique, but for his unparalleled impact on bodybuilding, a contribution that, no matter how much he is credited for, will never be enough. The most celebrated bodybuilder ever, he will always be the best there is. Despite retiring early at the age of just 33, his legacy endures through his astonishing achievements. He clinched the Mr. Universe title at 20, a record only recently broken by 19-year-old Anton Ratushny. Arnold has been the one and only king in bodybuilding, winning Mr. Olympia 7 times from 1970 to 1980 to set a new standard in the sport. He has inspired millions by showing what true determination looks like. Beyond his physical accomplishments, Arnold revolutionized bodybuilding's culture, making it mainstream and accessible. His transition to Hollywood was phenomenal, starring in iconic films like The Terminator and Predator. Arnold Schwarzenegger has truly transformed bodybuilding into a worldwide phenomenon.
Bodybuilding has been a beautiful experience for me, and I will continue it for the rest of my life. I only stopped competing, but I'm not stopping bodybuilding.
We know that we haven't done complete justice to these bodybuilding greats by explaining their lives in detail, but we tried our best to cover everything important you need to know. So if you enjoyed this video, show your support by hitting that like button. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to our channel. Your subscription is more than just a number to us. It's a motivation to keep digging deeper, exploring further, and bringing you more of the content you love.